completely. All right. So today we are going to be talking about structure marking, and is a very interesting topic. A lot of people have the ways they mark their structure, but I'll just show us how I mark my structure, and then we'll proceed. All right. It will take time. The sketches are always very easy to get around with, but then when you get to the chart, it becomes more confusing, and then you find it difficult to find it. All right, but then that's my job. I want to make it a little bit simple for you to find. All right, so this is a bullish scenario, a bearish scenario, and candlestick representation of a bearish scenario. So this is just a bearish scenario I put on the screen. All right, majorly I've been using bullish scenario for a very long time, but today I'm using the bearish scenario for an example. All right, so this is the bullish scenario of how I mark my structure. All right, so now basically you should understand the concept from what I'm saying. So you can write down if you want to write down, because it's very wrong for you to be on the call like this and not have your journals. I've told you, prepare your journals, start jotting. All right, even from the class, there are a lot of statements I will make that you might not catch. All right, so today I will show you how I mark my structure basically, but listen to this statement very carefully. For my highs in a bullish scenario to be valid, for my eyes to be valid, okay, inducement has to be taken. I've explained the concept of inducement, the concept of pullback. So for a high to be valid in a bullish scenario, inducement has to be taken. If inducement is not taken, the high is not yet valid. All right. If inducement is not taken, the high is not yet valid. In a bearish, sorry, for the low to actually be valid in a bullish scenario, I've talked about the high being valid. For the high to be valid, the inducement has to be taken. The same goes for the low. All right. For a low to also be valid, the previous high has to be taken. If a low has to be valid, the previous valid high has to be taken. As simple as that. All right. So let's go to this. All right. I have been following my course. So I have this intermediate high. All right. This is let me see. I'm not really conversant with marking, tools. All right. So I'll just try if I can get one. All right. Just I don't know. All right. So let's say we have this intermediate high. All right. I don't know. Okay. This is not working. It's not doing the work I want it to do. Let me check for another one.
Now you can use the brush.
The brush. All right, please. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah. So now you have this intermediary high. All right. Then you have a retracement low. All right. This is it. All right. Most persons will consider this place as a valid high. Let me change the color to black. I'm not getting good. All right. Most persons will call this place a high. All right. For me, this is an intermediary high. All right. I expect that, okay, if price want to do anything, probably price have to take it out. So this is also a retracement, but it's an intermediary low, and then price went above it. If this would actually be a high, this one here, if it actually be a high, there must be an inducement it should have taken out. All right. If price will make this place a high, all right, it should take out inducement after it. But this did not take out any inducement, so this is not a valid high. But when price broke above, came back and took out this low, this retracement here, that serve as an inducement. All right. So this place makes this particular high a valid high. All right. Because it took out inducement. Let me delete some things. All right. So because it took out inducement, then it's All right, sorry, because price took out this immediate retracement low. All right, that's just basically what I call it. You can call it any name you want to call it. Wow. All right, you can call it any name you want to call it, but this is that's how I call it. All right, I just call it that name. So it took out that low, that immediate low as inducement. All right, so you can now begin to mark. All right, you can mark this place as your low. This is a low. Let's assume that this is an inducement here, and this is the high. This high is valid because it took out an inducement. All right, so I've told you what an inducement is and what it looks like. Okay, so IDM was here. So IDM was here. I have my high around here, and this is my low around here. All right, so price, this is the previous low. If price comes back and clear this high, this place becomes my valid low. Let me adjust it very well. All right, this place becomes my valid low. All right, price came and then took out this high, then this place becomes a low. So I have a new low around here. So I have a new low around here. Let me reduce this. The size is too much. All right, so that's that. And then for me to have a new high, all right, people consider this place, some persons will consider this place as a high. All right, the high was broken as a break of structure anyway. All right, this high was broken as a break of structure, but this place is not yet a valid high unless price actually do this. If when price cleared this high, price came here and then cleared this place here, all right, cleared this particular area, this one here, then we would have called this place a high. But price never cleared anything, all right, so that's not a valid high. Okay, so that's not a valid high. So price continued, retraced a bit, all right, price retraced a bit and then gave us this particular new high and then came back and took out this low as inducement. All right, so inducement was taken around that place. So we have inducement was taken around here. So we have that inducement was taken. Then automatically this becomes a valid high. So we have a valid high there. So the same process goes on and on. As soon as this retraced and then break that high, all right, went above that high, this becomes our valid low. This becomes our valid low, okay? And then the whole process continues, all right? If you understand this, can you drop 222 in the chat box, all right? If you understand this, drop 222 in the chat box.
But how is that a valid high when it hasn't broken any low?
Which one?
The current high now you're calling the high. It hasn't broken any. It didn't break the previous low.
This one here?
Yeah.
No, it didn't have to break the previous low. It has to just clear the immediate retracement. See it here. The immediate
okay, it has to clear the immediate retracement to be valid high.
The immediate pullback. You were in the pullback class, right?
Okay. Yeah.
You can differentiate between the valid pullback and a non-valid pullback.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So,
yeah. The down and up has to be taken.
Yes. So it must clear the immediate pullback. All right. Don't let me use retracement.
Okay.
All right. It must clear the immediate.
Yeah.
So this one actually took out this place.
Yeah.
So that's why I marked it as a high.
All right.
All right, so let's go to the bullish scenario. The bullish scenario, the bearish scenario, I intentionally make it a little bit complex. All right, just do a lot of jargon on the screen so that it might lose very complex, but it's still the same thing, very straightforward. All right, most of us can actually mark the low. All right, so let's say this is the high. So we have this high, and then this place is our inducement, this place here, because it's the most recent pullback. All right, let me start labeling so that you can see it is the same process all through. All right, so we have this, then we have this as our high. All right, so the low where the inducement was taken will become our valid low. All right, it becomes our valid low. So this place becomes our valid low. What? So this place becomes our valid low. And then we wait for the same process, all right? Because this low has now been taken, all right? This low has been taken. Okay, so we have this place as a new low. Sorry. This place as a new high. Sorry, yeah. So we have this new high. It's the same process. The only thing is when we start talking about the chart stuff, I will start talking about some of the candles that you need, to the candle issues you need to check out. All right. So this is another valid low. So we have this as a valid low. We have our inducement around here that was taken. So for me now, there are a lot of things I have to show you here. Even some of my students, I don't know, maybe they don't pay attention to it, but yeah, I think I've mentioned it in the class some of the time, but most of them don't pay attention to it. You see, let's now introduce something. I believe you understand this, right? You can respond. If there's no noise, you can just unmute yourself and respond. Do you understand this markup?
Yes, sir.
Yes, we understand this, sir.
All right. I think that's the first thing I have to confirm. Then I have to do this. Now, most persons have questions about engineered liquidity, all right? Engineered liquidity, internal liquidity, and stuff, all right? Some people even put their inducement around here. All right, so it's fine. Okay, if you no matter what you call it, it's just what you call it. Inducement is also liquidity. All right, so depending on how you want to call it, all right. But in inducement, as I've explained before, is just a serious call. It calls you. It seems as though the zone is just like that. Now, this particular place, this particular area, somehow can be valid, but for me, I will not take it. Because sometimes that zone, that particular pullback can have imbalance above it. All right. When you have imbalance like this above it, all right, this particular zone becomes internal liquidity. Sometimes they call it engineered liquidity, any name you want to call it. But this place, that's why you see sometimes I put ILQ on my chart. It's just internal liquidity. So price will actually come for it and clear it. You see ILQ, but I don't call it inducement. Some persons call it inducement, but for me, I call it ILQ, internal liquidity. Price can come for it anytime. All right. So when you see imbalance, because price is moved towards liquidity, imbalance, liquidity, those are the things that move price. All right. Basically, liquidity and imbalance is insufficient price action. All right. So that's just it. So if price had to move, there must be liquidity and there must be IPAs, all right, imbalance. So that's just the basic stuff. So this particular area here is just internal liquidity. This place is inducement. This place is internal liquidity. Price came for both of them and took it out. So I've just used one stone to kill two birds so that you can be able to understand it. All right. So that's just the concept. It's nothing spectacular or something special. All right. So inducement was here. This was taken. All right. So that's just the thing. All right. So I believe everybody understand this. We are 18 on the call. Amazing. All right. So that's great. That's great. That's great. Okay, so I think I will let me just proceed to the chart, to the main chart, like main chart. Now we have, sorry, the candlestick formation, really. That's what I want to go to again. All right, so this is the bearish candlestick scenario, right? We have price coming down, pushing up, coming down, all right? So this place was taken, inducement was taken around here. It can be a week, it can be a candle body close, I don't care, but inducement was taken around here. You just need something to be taken. All right, so inducement was taken around here. All right, and then price kept going down. You see candlestick kept printing. Now, the question is this place a valid pullback? This one here. Is that place a valid pullback? This place
Yes,
here.
sir.
Is it a valid pullback?
Yes, sir, because the low and the high has been taken.
Are you sure? This candle here.
No.
You can respond. Feel free. Is this a valid pullback?
Yes, sir.
Okay, give me reasons, please. Give me reasons.
Because the low,
both the lows and
of
the
that,
highs of the
candle
we are taking.
has been taken, and its high has also been taken.
All right, so what's this?
That one candle moved downwards to take out the low, and then push up to take out the high of that candle. So the pullback is valid.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, please.
I think the second one you marked is the pullback, the actual pullback, where the pullback completed.
The first one is not the pullback. It's the second one
The
that is
second one
right.
is the complete pullback.
Hello?
Yes,
The
please.
second one is the right.
Just as they say, it's the second one that is a valid pullback because it was it took away the previous low there. But the first one, it did not took out this thing.
So that's the low of the lowest candle, and this is the high of the highest,
Yeah.
the lowest candle, right? So price came for the high of the lowest candle, but never came for the low of the lowest candle, right? So this is not a valid one. So this other one is a valid, okay? So instead of you just marking this, you can just put your pullback around here, all right? So I just intentionally gave this example so that you can understand it. Do you get it now?
Yes, sir.
So this is a valid pullback. So, you know, inducement has been taken here, and on this leg there is nothing. All right. So price will actually come for this place as inducement. Okay. So price will come for it as inducement. So if price comes back, price will do this, clear it, and then push down. So that's just it. That's just the basic this thing. All right. So I think we're almost done. All right. So is there any question, please? We'll go through the chart on Monday. We'll go through the live chat. We'll just go straight to the live chat. I don't want the videos recordings to always be very long. So if you have any question, you can ask, please.